Hi there. I'm Carrie. I'm back with you this afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Have a special little guest. Actually, she's a regular visitor here every day. And this is my grandbaby, Mont Mont. She wanted to say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
All right. She said hi. Grandma's going to cook now, okay? All right. You can go back and listen to your video. Anyway, I'm back today. And what we're going to do is Saturday afternoon, and on Fridays and Saturdays, who feels like cooking, right? But I have a recipe that you can fix any day of the week in 30 minutes or less. And that is shrimp and pasta. In this house, we call it shrimp and spaghetti. So we have our shrimp, and I bought 1 bag of large shrimp, and I'm going to get you closer in just a few minutes. But I bought a bag of large shrimp, 1 pound, 31 to 35 shrimp. I used all of them. I peeled them, deveined them, and rinsed them off, and we're going to cook them. I also have, just to tell you what all we're going to put in here, I have some garlic salt. We're going to use fresh garlic. We're going to use Old Bay seasoning. Of course, we're going to use some Lorry seasoning. We're going to use olive oil, chicken stock, just a little bit, and we're going to use some fresh lemon. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not. Once you see me put this together, it's so quick. And of course, we're going to have spaghetti, and we're going to take and combine all of that. So I'll get this ready for you, bring you to the stove so you can see what's going on. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. I've just moved everything over to the stove so you can see what I'm doing. Tonight, our star of the meal is shrimp. And as I said, I have scallions, I have parsley, and what I've done already is cut up 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, I've cut up 3 cloves of garlic, and I also have I'm gonna turn that on. I also have my water boiling for my spaghetti, and it's actually ready for the spaghetti. I'm gonna put it in just a minute. But I do want you to see, when you salt spaghetti, you want to put quite a bit of salt in there. And this one here is basically out, but I have another one here waiting on it. You want to put quite a bit of salt. Okay? The spaghetti can take it. Trust me, it can take the salt, and it won't be salty. So now we're going to go back to our featured pot. Let's get you in here real good, okay? Now, as you can see, again, I have 3 cloves of garlic, very, very finely chopped, because this isn't going to cook long. So you want to be sure that you cut this garlic up really, really fine. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Any kind of olive oil is fine. I use extra virgin. I'm going to put that in there, get this garlic started. This meal is going to come together so quick. And then I'm going to take and put some butter. And I use a good bit of butter in this dish. Good bit of butter. And it hasn't gotten hot yet. I just turned it on. It will not take it long. And yes, that's a lot of butter, and I'll probably add more before it's all said and done. Okay, so we're going to wait for that to get hot. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead on and put our spaghetti in the pot. Now what I do, I just have a regular box of thin spaghetti. I use thin. You can use the regular spaghetti. You can use linguine. You can use any kind of pasta you want, really. I use just plain old thin spaghetti. But what I do is I take my spaghetti and I break it in half. We have to stretch this, guys. Put it in, we have to stretch it, so we break it in half. Now, I don't know if you can see that garlic there. Got a piece of spaghetti in it. I don't know if you can see that garlic, but it's starting to cook. I'm going to put this whole box of spaghetti and probably a little bit from another box, so we are sure that we have enough. I'm going to use a little bit more from another box, and we need to stir our spaghetti so that it doesn't stick. You know that. And I usually cook this spaghetti for about 10 minutes. You don't want it to overcook. And if the shrimp are still cooking, that's okay. I'll go ahead on and drain it while the shrimp are cooking. I'm going to add a little bit more. Look at that garlic, y'all. Look at that garlic. Slow, it's cooking slow. Waiting on those shrimp. Now this is a meal that I make quite often. My baby girl's one of her favorites. And it's so quick that I can throw it together anytime. And it's usually on a Friday or a Saturday. Okay, just a little bit more spaghetti. There we go. And we're going to stir it again. And then we're going to come back to our pot. And I am timing this spaghetti. And I'm also going to go ahead and put a drop of this olive oil in this spaghetti. Help it not stick, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to take and stir because this is starting to cook now. See that? It's starting to get brown. We don't want our garlic to get too brown. Look at all that butter. Look at that butter. Okay? And now we're going to go ahead on and add our shrimp, so they can get good and pink. And I guess you're wondering why I'm using this big pot. Don't have that many shrimp, but when we take and combine this with the spaghetti, I'm going to need this pot. You need a big pot. A lot of times I take it and use a bigger spaghetti pot and mix it in there. Okay, so you know we're going to let our shrimp get pink. Not all the way done, and then we'll add everything else. Okay, we give that spaghetti one more stir. We kind of got it on high. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because it wants to jump out of the pot. That's not good, right? Okay. The spaghetti is on its way. We take and separate it a little bit here. It's on its way. All right. We don't have to worry about that for a few minutes. Get this cleaned up. Okay, so we let the shrimp cook. I have the shrimp now on about a medium. And what I do, just take my tongs, flip them as they start getting pink. And look at all that goodness in there, all that butter. Oh, look at that butter and that olive oil. I don't use regular vegetable oil. This olive oil is not as greasy. They say is not as bad for you. Okay, we're going to get them flipped over. It's cooking kind of low. Didn't want to burn up my garlic. Turn it back up just a smidgen. See how they're turning pink? That's what you want them to do. All right, buddy. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Up just a smidgen more. So right now, if you had numbers on your stove, you'd be cooking this at about a 7. Look at that. Beautiful. Now these are, the bag says large shrimp, but I'm wondering if they substituted the medium for the large, because these are quite small. That might be why they were on sale. So we're gonna go ahead on and add some seasoning. And unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of Old Bay left, but what I do have, I'm going to put in here. Okay, that's Old Bay. I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of Lawry's, just a little bit. And I'm going to put some garlic salt. Now, even though I use fresh garlic, I'm going to still put some garlic salt in there. Oh, look at that, look at that. Okay, I think that should be enough. Now, at this point, we add our chicken stock. And I'm also going to put some of the green onions in now. Put some of the green onions. It's a beautiful dish, beautiful dish. And I'm going to add some chicken stock here. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. Let it come to a boil. That spaghetti is cooking. It's cooking. Get all of this out of the way. Okay, once this comes to a boil and just cooks a little bit, it'll basically be done. We want to get those shrimp cooked. And if this, oh, excuse me, this recipe actually calls for white wine. I don't have any white wine, but if I did, this would be the point. I put it in with the chicken broth to let it cook down and cook some of the alcohol off of the wine. This would be the point that you put it in there. Okay, the spaghetti will be done in just a few minutes. Let's check it out here. It'll be done in just a few. Like I said, we're only gonna let it cook for about between 10 and 12 minutes. Don't want it overcooked, because when we put it in this pot, it's gonna be hot for a while. You see how these shrimp are cooking down in that juice? Just turn it up so it can really come to a boil. But isn't that beautiful? That is absolutely beautiful, and it's going to be good. Yes. It's going to be good. I'm going to get the strainer for my spaghetti. Put it in the sink so that we're ready. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead on and add our parsley. Got some parsley to put in here. A few more green onions. The more the better, y'all. The more the better. It's almost as if this didn't want to get that hot, but that's okay. It's cooking. So in just another minute or so, I am going to drain the spaghetti, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I combine this dish. And it's just that simple. And this dish has got so much flavor in it. You know what I think too? I'm going to put a drop of salt in this shrimp. And that was just about a pinch, 1/4 of a teaspoon, just a pinch. Okay. All right, I will be right back with you all after I've drained the spaghetti. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and what we're gonna do now, the spaghetti is done, The shrimp are done. I've taken them off the eye so that they'll stop cooking. And I want you to see me combine this dish. Look at those beautiful shrimp. So now what we're going to do is take our spaghetti. I drained it and put it back in the pot. Just going to take and add it into our shrimp. And I could pick it up and pour it, but I'd rather not. This way I can judge how much spaghetti I want in here, which is probably going to be most of it. It's hot. It is hot. Look at that. Look at that. And you talk about flavorful. Oh, this is good flavor with that fresh garlic and that parsley and scallions. And this pasta is going to soak up a lot of this olive oil, which I'm going to add some to it. Look at that. Now that's a pot of shrimp and spaghetti, huh? Yes, look at that. Pot of shrimp and spaghetti. So what I'm going to do now, I think that's enough. We have just a little bit left, just a little bit. I'll probably add it later. Oh, we'll add some right now. How about that? So now what I'm going to do is get that out of the way. I am going to put a drop more of olive oil. Because remember, we only started with a little bit. And fresh lemon. These are very tiny lemons, so I use like one and squeezed half of another. I'm going to put the rest of our parsley. I have the paper towel to catch the water when I cleaned it. And our scallions. And this is chicken and spaghetti in the Redding's house. And we are going to enjoy it. Guys, try this. Try this meal. It's quick, it's easy, and I promise you, you will enjoy it. I might even put another piece of butter in that. I will see you again. I will see you soon. Remember to like my videos, share my videos with all of your friends, and subscribe to my videos. I'll see you again on YouTube. Bye-bye.